What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Thank you for stopping in. Today I have an exciting unboxing to dig into for you. Before we get started, double check and make sure you are subscribed to the channel here. I'd love to have you, and hit that thumbs up button. I really appreciate it, everyone. It helps push the video out there so more people have a chance to check it out. Let me know what you're carrying in your pockets today down in the comments. Love hearing from you guys and what you're carrying. So just took this out of the mailer. Huge shout out to CJRB and Artisan Cutlery for sending this thing in. And I believe this is a brand new model from CJRB. This is called the AES. And this looks pretty cool. I've seen one picture of it very quickly, but other than that, I have not seen a whole lot on this knife. We have our zippered pouch, microfiber cloth, and our knife is going to be housed in this plastic baggie here. Let's get it out of there. So we have the new CJRB AES. I believe this is new because I've never heard about it and or seen it before up until very recently. Ooh, I think that's a Mallory symbol there. So he has worked with Artisan before in the past and designed some really good knives with them. So we're looking at a PVD coated drop point blade here, going to be coming in RPM 9 there. If we can, there we go, RPM 9. It's got a nice finish. It's not too glossy, but it is their standard PVD coating if you're familiar with CJRB. Looks good and typically takes wear very well. We have green micarta here for the handle material, and then we will have steel liners in there, and those liners are going to be recessed inside the micarta here. And then good access to that liner with a chamfer there. Very easy to get to, very easy to disengage. And then we have their newer standard deep carry pocket clip here, and it's been recessed. It will be reversible here for our lefty brothers out there, and I really like this little shield on the front. It gives the knife some character, opposed to this all just being flat, just regular micarta. That little shield makes a pretty big difference. It gives it some character. I like that. Really like that. And then we do have, these are not completely flat, so we do have a semi-contour here on these handles, and a lot of people are really going to like that fact. And the other thing I'm noticing right off the get-go is this knife is very, very lightweight. Let's check the length. I bet that's under 8 inches, maybe like 7 3/4, a little over 7 1/2. So we're at like 7 9/16, and then 3 1/4 on the cutting edge, and then about 3 5/16 total edge. So this knife is going to be in a lot of people's wheelhouse when it comes to the length of this knife and the size of the knife. And a lot of people these days really like lighter weight knives. I'm kind of in the middle. I've grown to like these 3 to 3 1/4 inch knives and being a little bit lighter weight, but I've always been a fan of 3 1/2 to 3 3/4 inch blades that are a little bit more substantial. But blades like this, knives like this, I do have a good use for them, especially in the summer and gym shorts or certain scenarios. I do like to have a lighter weight knife such as this. The clip is nice and it's going to carry pretty deep. You'll have a little bit of that butt end poking out there, but that's about it, less than 1/4 inch. And their pocket clips do work very well, and like we said, it will be left hand friendly. Very easy to switch that over. Just pull those 2 screws off, pull that one out, put it back in, and flip this screw to that side. We have dual thumb studs for the deployment. I'm going to guess that these are going to be right around the $50 mark, or somewhere in that ballpark, between 40 and 60. I don't think they'll be quite down at 40, but they could be. Just like the new Pyrite Light, that thing is hanging around 30 bucks, and that is an awesome deal. If you have not checked out the Pyrite Light and you're looking for, you know, that next knife, a button lock, that Pyrite Light at 30 bucks is a pretty good deal. So before we go too much further, the blade is nicely centered there. Good centering on that blade. And then we do have good lockup here. Looks about 30%. It's fairly early, 25 to 30%. There's no pivot lash in there. And there's no detent lash. That is good. Let's do a soft open. It is locked out nicely. And I do that very soft open, just to see how that knife is going to react and how it's going to lock up, and is there going to be, you know, because most people aren't going to just, but there are people out there who are just going to pull this blade out and use two hands. Some people might kind of two-finger it out and slow roll it out. So I like to check it at its kind of softest opening. And we don't have any up and down play, and there's no side-to-side play either. That is good. So we're centered, no detent lash, no pivot lash, and the lock is holding up good. Let's go ahead, and that's a fairly thin blade stock. Let's go ahead and check this edge, see what kind of edge they put on this RPM 9. Comfortable, lightweight. And a very good edge right out of the box. Great job, great job. We will check this lock as well on the spine whacker. We'll check that here in un momento. One thing I want to show too is we don't really have anything stopping us from getting up behind that edge. This does kind of come up and point a little bit there, but it's not pokey to the point where it's going to disturb this kind of choked up grip. Now, if you really get into bearing down on this, I could see that fatiguing your pointer finger eventually, but for casual, controlled cuts like this, I think you'll be fine. But one thing this is going to be pretty decent at, even if you're before that ramp, you'll be able to get up on this tip for more precise cuts. And that's one thing you guys know I really like. We have some double wall here. Let's go against the grain. And I'm just kind of letting the knife do the work there. Let's put a little effort into the cut. Yeah, that's got a good edge on it. Very good edge on it. Yeah. Very good edge. We'll get that cleaned up. And we'll go ahead and we'll get the spine whacker out, baby. And if you're not familiar with the spine whacker, it has never been defeated before, even after all the abuse. So we are going to check this lock, just casually check it, make sure it's, you know, able to withstand some adversity. No, this is not to see if you can use the spine to pound a nail in. It's not to see if you can use the spine to cut a tree down. It is to make sure that this locking knife is going to stay locked up. Very good, very good. Very good. And what that's telling us is that the lock face and the tang, everything is done properly in there, to the extent that this knife is not just going to close on your hand up against some resistance or some force. And, you know, some knives have been known to fail just by putting a lot of pressure with your thumb on the spine. It's not something that happens all the time, but it is something that happens. And it is something that happens on accident in a cut, very dense material, where you might go to retract the blade, you went too far or the wrong direction or whatever, and you go to come back up or out of the material, hit that spine of the blade on whatever it is you're cutting, and the knife and lock fail and inevitably close on your finger. It's not a common occurrence. It's not something that happens, you know, it's not something purposefully done. It is something that happens on accident. But yeah, I like this knife. And depending on the price, we can only assume, I'm going to say a solid price for this knife is going to be right around the $50 mark. If it's right around there, I think this is a fantastic offering. And I'm assuming they'll have some other versions, but this green micarta with the little gold shield, if you will, with the black blade and hardware, this is a good looking design. It's going to make a good EDC knife. You guys will have to let me know, what do you think of the new AES from CJRB? Love hearing from you guys and what you think of these new knives. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button before you head out. I always appreciate that, everyone. If you're new to the channel here, we release videos just like this one every single day. Hit the subscribe button, ring the little bell. I would love to have you here. I'm going to put up a couple of new videos. Go check one of those out. They really help push this video out there as well when you go check one of them out. So I hugely appreciate that for the people who go check out another video. I hope you have an awesome day. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch all of you on the next one.